Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the review show with Orion. I'm your host Orion, and today we're going back to Spider-Man 1 and 2 to look back at these movies that made my childhood what it was. Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 1. Just childhood classics in my book. But out of 307 videos on my channel, I have not said a word about these movies and how much Spider-Man means to me in general. This can be comic books, pop culture, the movies, you know, all that stuff. It's just, I can't believe I never talked about it. I've played Spider-Man PS4 once on the channel live. It was in terrible quality, you could barely see anything. But yeah, I 100% that game recently and just felt like putting on these movies yesterday actually. My mother and everyone was sitting down there watching the movies with me, so might as well, you know, put it on and have a good time. But basically, that's what we're reviewing today, so sit back, relax, chill out with me for a few minutes of your day, and if you have not already subscribed, click the red button, turn on the notification bell, become part of the Super Chills family on YouTube. It would be great to have your family and friends be a part of the channel, and yeah, let's dive right into this review. I also forgot to mention I have the soundtrack on DVD, or CD I mean. You can bless your ears with Chad Kroger's sweet, sweet, sexy voice and the amazing Cantrell. Jerry Cantrell, to be exact. Everything else is kind of generic. But, hey, there's Aerosmith on this too. So, can't all be bad. But there we are. Soundtrack for Spider-Man 1. The original Spider-Man. And here we are. We're going to talk about this first, of course. Spider-Man. The origin story, because there's so many origin stories of superheroes. Like, every single movie starts with an origin story. And it goes for any comic book character, any character in general, but this one is the best at what it does. William Dafoe is an incredible, amazing Green Goblin. The only Green Goblin that I can consider to be the Green Goblin. He has the iconic, you know, Green Goblin aesthetic, the greenness, the almighty greenness, I guess. I don't know. But basically, in the comics, or the cartoon show, there was a Green Goblin before that, or somewhere different. It was like the Hobgoblin, but they didn't do that. The Green Goblin is the only Goblin that I want to see on the screen, and they're making him come back. He's coming back in the next Spider-Man. I'm just really excited because he is like the most iconic villain I can think of right now, other than Darth Vader or something like that. Green Goblin, William Dafoe, is incredible. And then everything else in the movie is very, you know, it's formulaic. It goes by the story. It's very good. And I like this. This is the right origin story because the Amazing Spider-Man tried to get it right. They failed. It's not right. It's not right. It just doesn't feel right. I mean, that's a different timeline, I guess you could say, because of the multiverse existing now. Basically, this is the right Spider-Man origin story, you know. He gets bit by a spider, goes, they go to a lab, right? To visit Oscorp Industries, or whatever it's called, I don't know. And asks Mary Jane if I can take her picture, and he gets bit by the spider when it crawls down, you know, that kind of stuff. That's what I envisioned to be the right origin story for Spider-Man. I mean, I've never read any of the comic books because they're really expensive, and I can't really find them out there. It's really hard. But Spider-Man got it right. This Spider-Man movie got it right. I have never played the PS2 game. I want to, but I just don't have a PlayStation 2 at the moment. It's just, I love this movie. It's just, it gets everything right. It's a good vibe. I can't describe it, man. It's nostalgic. I cried when Uncle Ben died. I've replayed these movies over and over and over ever since I was like 2, okay? This one just holds up. The cheesy effects, the just overall early 2000s Spider-Man vibe. And the other Spider-Man movies afterwards were good. Because Stan Lee even said this was his favorite Spider-Man movie, the original 2002 Spider-Man movie. Just after these movies, after the original Spider-Man movie came out, Spider-Man 2, we're going to get to that, but after Spider-Man 2, everything fell flat. Kind of fell flat. Doesn't feel like Spider-Man anymore. It just doesn't feel like Spider-Man anymore, and it's really bad. But basically, I'm saying that a lot, they had these web-slinging moments. They just had these moments in these movies, the web-slinging moments that the other movies do not capture right. 2002 Spider-Man and 2004 Spider-Man, you can even say Spider-Man 3 as well, the Raimi trilogy, I guess, just get the web-slinging correct. Just the effects of the web-slinging, overall, this is Spider-Man. This is what I see as Spider-Man. It doesn't matter that Tom Holland is younger than Toby was, or Andrew Garfield was like freaking old, ancient by the time Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out. Yeah. Toby is the man. But yeah, this one is just, I love this movie. It's just, it captures Spider-Man correctly. The origin story, that is. Now, we have Spider-Man 2. This one, a lot of people say is the best superhero movie ever made. And I agree with you partially. I guess. I don't know what the best superhero movie is, honestly. I honestly choose that one, the original Spider-Man, because I just repeated it so many times until the CD broke. But really, I repeated all of them. Even Spider-Man 3. We'll get to that in another video, though. Probably in the future. Probably April Fool's, I guess. Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man 2, I'm trying to talk about this. This is the best Doc Ock. No one else has played Doc Ock as best as Alfred Manoa. No one has played Doc Ock as good as Alfred Manoa on the screen, you know. There's PlayStation 4 Doc Ock, which is in... I was blown away about... I was blown away by the Doc Ock in the PlayStation 4 game. But, really, no one has played a great Doc Ock since this movie in live action. And he's coming back. So, no one has actually... No other actor has played Doc Ock. So, unless I'm mistaken, please tell me in the comments below, because this is the best performance of Dr. Octopus that I can think of. And this also captures that one episode of Marvel Spider-Man where not Mary Jane, Aunt May and Peter are trying to get May a new apartment or money out of the bank or something. I don't know. It just captures that 90s, early 2000s. God, what am I saying? that 90s episode of Marvel's Spider-Man, which is a great episode. I loved it. I watched this before that show. I didn't watch the 90s Spider-Man show until like 2017 or something, when I was really into, say, Marvel, not Marvel, The Flash, Smallville, and then I just picked up on this show, the Marvel's 90s Spider-Man show. I know there's another Spider-Man show I need to watch in the 90s. I believe it was Unlimited or something. You know, there's so many. I can't keep up, okay? But yeah, really, there's a lot to be said about this movie. There is a lot to be said. I can't word it into words, but it's just a coming-of-age movie where Peter loses his powers, finds his love interest, finds out who his love interest is, right? Aunt May is getting tortured by Dr. Octopus in that one scene, and Peter just gets his powers back and all that stuff. It's just... I don't know. It's just... I lost my train of thought, but I was trying to describe the movie. Really, it's just Peter losing his powers and trying to find his love source, which is Mary Jane, and he can't tell her that he's Spider-Man because he's afraid that enemies and stuff will come after her every time something big comes up, you know? It's just... it's an all sort of thing, because it's a mind bender, because in this movie, this takes part of the comic books, you know, where Peter gives up Spider-Man and tries to find something else to do, but this is because he loses his powers, you know? Like, he can't shoot webs, he can't feel anything, because he's lost his, like, strength ability, you know? Like, Spider-Man has powers, right? He just has these web abilities, which doesn't make sense to come out of your hand. They did organic webbing in these movies. I don't know why. In the comics, Spider-Man has web shooters. We all know this. But there's other comics that show Spider-Man getting pregnant and all that stuff. It's really deep. Really mystical stuff happens in the Marvel comic books. And organic webbing exists, you know? You got Madam Web and stuff that hasn't made a debut on the Marvel Cinematic Universe or the screen at all. Madam Web is one of the characters in Spider-Man that just doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, really, it's just a love story. Like, this is a great love story too. It's not only the best Dr. Octopus movie and action movie. Some say the best superhero movie as well, but it's also a love story, you know? Peter and Mary Jane. Spider-Man and Mary Jane. You know, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, Mary Jane. Love story. But yeah, this is the best, like, story-driven thing with Dr. Octopus, and I really like it. It's not bad, and it's just very nostalgic. And one more thing, pizza time. It's definitely pizza time. I can say that for sure. I have not played the original Spider-Man 2 PS2 game either, so I need to catch up and actually get those games, because I played a lot of Spider-Man PS4. As of recent, I'm still doing the DLC, but I 100% the game. I have every single achievement. It's just amazing how deep a character can be, such as Spider-Man, the Sinister Six, Green Goblin, all those characters, because I love the comics. I love Marvel Spider-Man, everything. Everything about Spider-Man is great to me. I just don't know what to think about the new Spider-Man, Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield and stuff like that. I wish they would actually did more stuff with the character, because the web slinging looks fake in the new movies, and it's just, like I said, it's just very, it's a downward spiral for me. It just doesn't feel like Spider-Man to me. But I still watch the movies nonetheless. I do enjoy Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield. I just hate The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 3, that is the best movie. That's the best movie out of all the bad Spider-Man movies. I just have to say that. Spider-Man 3. Emo Peter Parker. Some call him Bully Maguire for some reason. I don't know why. But I love that. It's funny. It's hilarious. It's like Star Wars, how they have so many prequel memes and all that stuff. Just take it with a grain of salt. It's supposed to be funny, Anyway, this has been my mixed up review of Spider-Man 1 and 2. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 because Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 1 are amazing films, and you got to check them out because if you have not watched these movies in your life, you're missing out, because these movies are the beginning of my childhood, because I was 2 when Spider-Man 1 came out. I was 4 when Spider-Man 2 came out. So this is basically my early 2000s childhood in a nutshell. Pizza time. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. I don't know how long this is, but stay super chill, and I hope to bring more content to you in the future. Sorry for the long wait and the, neglected content, because we are losing subscribers a lot and views are down. So, it is what it is. Thanks for watching nonetheless, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Movie Review Show with Orion. I'm your host, Orion, signing off.